Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. Somebody type a one to make sure that the audio is coming through and you are hearing everything correctly before we get started. Somebody put a one in that comment section. I need to see it. It's good for my health. Steve, are you with us? Steve?
I apparently, as the second person here, can't hear anything because my internet is Philippine internet and it doesn't always work too great.
All right. Well, we're hearing you now, so that's all that matters.
All
So
right, so
go
are
ahead.
we in the 5x5? Can people actually hear both Jeremy and I? Give us a 5x5 if you hear that. That's
I'm
a
thinking.
5 and an X and a 5. That's a 5x5.
There's my main man, Rashard. Much appreciate you. I assume you're in the gym, my friend. Welcome, and hopefully we'll keep you entertained while you're working out. So 5x5. There we go, Steve.
Al, welcome. You're in New Jersey. All right. Thanks for showing up tonight.
Let me get the business end out of the way first. But while we're waiting on a few more people to come in here, first and foremost, this video is sponsored by a anonymous subscriber who chose to remain anonymous. I would like to say a big thank you to him for sponsoring this video. I'm going to read you a message that he sent me. He wanted this topic, and if you're interested in sponsoring a video, the link and information on how to do so is below. You can also contact me via Facebook Messenger. So let's listen to this message real quick. He says, I want to stay somewhere with city life and beach access. We would do a lot of local food eating out and some Western too. He's talking about he and his family. We would be doing a lot of travel throughout Asia. I don't think we would own a vehicle. It would be nice to hire a driver as needed. We would want at least a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, would not mind having maid and laundry service. So his budget is around 5,000 US dollars a month, which, if you know anything about living in Southeast Asia, and Steve, I'm sure you're going to verify this, 5,000 US dollars a month, it can get you pretty much just about whatever kind of lifestyle you want. What would you think?
I would think that 5,000 US dollars a month is one heck of a large lifestyle. I'm sure we'll get into the details of what it costs, but I just had dinner tonight with a guy, and I will tell you what his budget is a month, and he can't even spend the money that he's got. And he doesn't have a lot of money. He's just a US guy. If he's like 59, he's not ready to retire yet, but he's got the usual stuff, and 5,000 a month is a lot to be able to live on.
I agree. Let me say hey to a few people. Hello, Bob. Hello, Lewis. Morning from Texas. I've already said hello to Dano and Mr. Levitt. Ed, hello. Ed says you can have 2 kingdoms for 5,000 US dollars a month.
Wait, are you the crown prince of the kingdom, or are you the king of the kingdom?
That is a
For
very
5,000 a month, do you get to be crown prince, or do you get to be the king? Which one?
What's up, Random Asia? For 5,000 a month, man. And Al says he can come up with 3,000, 3 to 5,000 a month. You're going to be living good anywhere you want to live in Asia. But because of this man's request for topic, I have come up with 2 places, and then I'm going to talk briefly about Bangkok and Pattaya, which are also Pattaya is a city where, like Jomtien, which is just outside of Pattaya. Would be an excellent location for you. Your cost of living would probably be much cheaper there than it would be in Hua Hin, which is the place that I have kind of focused my attention on because that seems to be more fitting for what you want. Just so you guys know, 5,000 US dollars is 161,907 baht.
So let me ask you this question. Hua Hin and Jomtien is on 2 different sides of the, I don't know what you call that, where it comes up.
The Gulf.
The Gulf. Okay. They're on 2 different sides of the Gulf.
They are. They have a ferry that run between them. Actually, yep.
Can you? But can you do a realistic comparison between Jomtien and Hua Hin? Or is that? I mean, Jomtien is right outside Pattaya. I guess a little north of Pattaya. It could be. I don't know, but
I think so. Yes.
Can you do a real comparison on those two cities monetarily?
Sort of. They compare in many different. They compare similarly. Jomtien is growing as a city.
Yeah.
And the beaches around there are nice. Now I believe it's on the southern end. You also have Cozy Beach. Which is, from my understanding, a much nicer beach than Pattaya. But Pattaya gives you access to city life. And if you're in Jomtien, you got the beach life, you got the relaxation, you can hire the driver, you can do the things you want to do. And if you have $5,000 a month disposable income, you're not going to have a problem doing any of those things. But I feel like Hua Hin would be a better fit for this gentleman. So before I get into that, hello, pal, 555. Good to see you tonight. Random Asia says, I got given some of that money to hungry children, you dogs. Well, okay then, if that's how you feel.
Wait. I've got given some of that money to hungry children, you dogs. That's a little cryptic. I being the less that is a little cryptic. I'm not quite sure what that means.
I'm sure he'll explain. There's Kent. Kent says, careless spending, you can easily blow through 5K. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Kent, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Careless, you can blow through anything here. This is Thailand, man. You could go through a freaking $100,000 a month if you wanted to. Levent says he's probably saying you should be giving your money to the less fortunate. Well, that may be true, but
yeah. I mean, you could give it to the less fortunate, but the problem is with the Asian countries is there's so many less fortunate. Who do you give it to?
That is an excellent question. Do you see Richard? I love this guy. He says, I would choose to donate to the Pattaya Single Moms Fund.
I lost my headset for a moment.
Richard says, I would choose to donate to the Pattaya Single Moms Fund.
Rashad, I don't think it's going to be tough to find the Pattaya Singles Mom Fund.
I don't think it is either.
I think that's kind of you walk down the street and you can contribute to that one easily.
Agreed. So let me get into Hua Hin, however you guys want to pronounce it. Let me get into it a little bit. I want to go down some food costs for you to begin with. This is some research I pulled up off of local websites that have been not branded, but have been feeded information through the expat community here. So the information should be legit. So for a basic lunchtime menu, including a drink in the business district of Hua Hin, you're looking at about $5.31 for lunch. Combo meal and fast food restaurant, like a Big Mac meal or similar, $5.03. 1 pound of boneless chicken breast, $1.48. 1 liter of whole fat milk, $1.60. 12 eggs, $1.77. 2 pounds of tomatoes or 1 kilogram is $1.09. 16 ounces of local cheese, $15, because most of the cheese here is imported from Australia, if you didn't know. 1 kilogram of apples, $2.48. 1 kilogram of potatoes, $1.47. And here's the important stuff: 16 ounces of domestic beer in the supermarket, $1.60. 1 bottle of red table wine, good quality, $19. 2 liters of Coca-Cola, $1.39. Bread for 2 people for 1 day, $1.64. So that's the food. And we'll go into housing and transportation and stuff like that a little bit later. Ed says it's simple. Pick the most expensive, convenient, safe living accommodation and just go from there. I agree, Ed, but this guy wants some, he wants some facts. He wants some research done, and that's what we're trying to do for him. So what do you think, Steve? What you got on that? What you got on the food cost?
Oh, there we go. Okay. I've had a couple of margaritas tonight and I pushed the wrong button. So excuse moi. Jeremy, I think you're in the perfect position being as you have having actually lived there and paid for food. You would have a perfect idea of what food costs.
This is true.
So in your opinion, your opining of what food actually costs is the stuff you actually read, which is, I don't know, internet lore maybe. Does that reflect your actual experience of what food costs?
Yes, it does. Actually, Hua Hin is not that much more expensive food cost wise from places like Bangkok, Pattaya, um, and a few other places that I've been in Thailand. So food cost is not too bad. Larry asked, "Those are supermarket prices only?" Correct. No, Larry, those are. Some are supermarket prices, but some of those are not. Some of those are considered restaurant prices.
Yeah, Larry, and I don't know if you've been to the Philippines or not. So my experience with here in the Philippines is food is not any less expensive than it is in the US. I mean, when I was living with someone and I would go to Hypermart twice a week to shop, it was at least 3,500 pesos. It was not below that. And I was not eating a totally Western diet. So, at least in the Philippines, and I'm not sure about, Thailand, Jeremy would certainly know more about than I. But food, I didn't think was that cheap to buy in the supermarket.
I didn't think when I was in the Philippines. I have to agree with you. I even went to one of the like Costco type stores. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah,
Louders,
SNR. SNR is the store here for Costco type stuff.
or this was in Cebu. It started with an L, I think. I
Oh,
can't remember.
okay.
But anyway, yeah. So the food cost is relative, I would say. Kent says, "I didn't know that Steve drinks so much. Where do you get the margaritas?"
Tequila Reef, man. Tequila Reef. Listen, you know what? I'm not really a drinker. That's the thing. I don't drink on a regular basis, but a Tequila Reef margarita is an ethereal experience. Let's say that if you're now I never did any of this stuff, obviously, but here goes the story. So give me a minute. If you're like on a psilocybin kind of ski adventure somewhere, that's a Tequila Reef margarita. And it only takes a couple of them to re experience some kind of out of body experience. I'm done.
That was a great story, man.
But I'm not that much of a drinker. I'm really not. I will never go to the market and buy alcohol. I
Yes,
just don't do it.
since I've known you, I've not known you to do much drinking. Larry says wet market prices should be cheaper, correct? Minus the Western food, absolutely, always. That's always going to be the case.
Oh, wet market, Larry. Are you talking about like the Philippine wet market where they got the meat that's non-refrigerated? That is one disgusting pile of stuff there. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I feel a bile rising in my throat when I walk through a Philippine wet market.
Random Asia says tops the same price as a high-end grocery store here. Yep, I agree. The OZ 1424 says I was in the Philippines. The food is bad. The people are filthy. I never go there again. Well,
I can't totally disagree. Okay. I mean, I think there's a lot of poverty here in the Philippines, and I think people are doing the best they can to get along day to day. And I think that they eat a lot of pancit, and I mean, there's a lot of carbs going on here. And God forbid you go to Mang Inasal and get an unlimited rice option. Stand back, man, because get out of the way. There's going to be rice flying.
I'm gonna come back to these comments in just a second because there's a few more good ones here. But let's move into housing in Hua Hin because this is kind of more what he was talking about.
Okay.
For monthly rent for an 85 square meter, which is 900 square foot furnished accommodation in an expensive area of Hua Hin, is going to run you about $1,293 a month. That's pretty expensive.
Really, that much?
Yeah, Hua Hin
That's pretty expensive.
has some very nice, but he's got the money to afford it, you know. And this is probably going to be his 2-bedroom, 2-bath place. So
Are you like staying with a king or what?
I don't know, man. Monthly rent for 85 meters square, 900 square foot furnished accommodation in a normal area is going to run you about $1,031 a month. So, but this is, remember, Hua Hin is kind of an upscale area. Utilities, 1 month. Heating, electric, gas. I'm sure you don't need heat, but electric, gas for 2 people in an 85 square meter flat, about $65. Monthly rent for a 45, he won't need this, but I'll put it out there anyway. Monthly rent for a 45 square meter, 480 square foot furnished studio in an expensive area is $712.
Jeremy, do you feel that electric in Thailand is the same kind of, I would say, higher rate as it is here in the Philippines?
It's a higher rate, but it's cheaper than it is in the Philippines.
Because electric here in the Philippines, I think, is really high. I mean, I can run the aircon 24/7 in Arizona, and it's cheaper. Well, it's not really cheaper, but it's pretty high here in the Philippines.
Electricity in the Philippines is absolutely stupid, and I'm going to leave it at that. Lingo says good old battery acid, formaldehyde, and tequila reef. Mate, sounds like he's got something going on there.
See, battery acid, formaldehyde, and tequila reef. That could be the combination of the margarita that they make there, because it is one potent. I'd say a foul word, but you know, this is the new YouTube and you can't use any foul words. So I will limit my foulness.
Random Asia, live healthier, eat street food. You know, there is, I'm gonna be honest, there's some good healthy street food here in Thailand. There's also some good street food in the Philippines, but I'm much more cautious of the street food in the Philippines than I am here in Thailand. Just
Jeremy, I cannot believe that you have not eaten somtam yet in Thailand.
Look, man, do you want me to talk about my digestive tract?
No, I don't want to hear about the flatulence eructation of the southern border at this point. But you don't have to have the spicy somtam. You can have the little bit spicy somtam.
Okay, so when you come over in a couple weeks,
I will introduce you to the little bit spicy somtam, and your delicate digestive enzymes shall be okay.
I hope so, man. God, I hope so. Ed says Philippines has to import everything because they aren't able to grow the vegetation. Too much corruption and disorganization. Supermarket, U.S., definitely high cost there.
I will agree that I mean, definitely supermarket, I feel, is high cost here in the Philippines.
I agree with that statement. Having been there 9 months, I agree. There's my man Eli. Some delicious food in the fields. There is some good food in the fields. They make great sigsig and lechon, man. Especially in Cebu, they have great lechon in Cebu.
Wait a minute, have you eaten lechon, Jeremy?
Well, yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't say they had great lechon in Cebu.
I just can't eat the lechon. You know, it's one of those things I can't. You know, you're eating a pig. I mean, that's all I got to say. There was like nothing to that statement. The entire statement right there.
Yeah, that's okay. Talking about Thailand's open market. Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about, Larry. Yeah, but the wet markets are going to be cheaper for sure. Levent says, I would think India is filthier than the Philippines. Well, he's probably right. I haven't been there, but I've heard horror stories. It says,
I think India is filthier than the Philippines. I'm not sure. You know, the wet market in the Philippines is pretty disgusting.
It is.
I'm not sure it could be any more disgusting than the Philippines. And this is not a put down on the Philippines, okay? This is just every public market in the Philippines has a wet market area for the meat, and it is not refrigerated. I don't know how fresh it is. I don't know if they're killing the cow 5 minutes before they put it out there to sell it to you, but I don't know how India could be any worse than the Philippines.
Well, I think he's talking about the fact that, you know, Indian people, which don't get me wrong, there's a lot, you see men peeing on the side of the road all the time in the Philippines, but in India, it's my understanding that they literally just pop a squat and do a number 2 right in the middle of the road. Nobody
I
cares.
tried to pee on the side of the road once.
Yeah,
It didn't.
I
It
think
didn't
I've
work out. I had a shy bladder.
I have that problem too. It says Philippines has a national diabetes epidemic due to the gray and sweet sauce they put on everything.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, this country, the way they eat rice. I mean, like cut out the rice, man. I mean, everybody's got diabetes here.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. And there's a lot more obesity in the Philippines than there is in Thailand.
There is a lot of obesity, and it's very disturbing.
Uh,
I got a story.
oh, go ahead.
I got a story.
Go ahead.
There's nothing more disturbing to me than seeing a 10-year-old kid dancing on a Dunkin' Donut commercial. A 10-year-old kid that was kind of obese, dancing with 2 donuts in his hand on a Dunkin' Donut commercial. Why would you put that on TV? That is not a good image.
It's not. It's about business. It's not about health. That's why.
Okay, I know. I just had to say it.
Rashard. Okay, you got it figured out, Rashard. Yep, definitely talking about USD there, brother. Let's see. Eli. I think has more to do with how much Coca-Cola they drink. That's also true. I'm a avid Coke drinker.
Quit it. It's not good for you. Stop it.
I know. Levant says, I know some people living in Bangkok pay $300 a month for an apartment, swimming pool, etc. Yeah, I mean, my first apartment in Bangkok was $6,000 a month, which is like 196 US dollars.
That was such a good deal. I couldn't believe you found that deal.
It was, man. Brand new apartment, 1 bedroom, kitchen, bathroom. The only thing it didn't have was a hot water shower. That's it. But it was everything in it was new, and it was.
Wait a minute, you had no hot water shower?
No hot water shower. Yep, sure.
You didn't have the little unit like right in the shower that you turn the hot water on?
Sure didn't. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, that's very disturbing. Now I got to rethink my entire opinion on the whole thing.
It doesn't happen very often. Let's see. Levent, electricity in Germany is expensive too, which is why you don't see too many AC units. I've heard that. Random Asia says we pay 11 cents a unit here in Thailand. It's 4 cents, but often there's an add-on charge.
No, wait, I'm trying to find this comment here.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
Yeah, see, 11 cents a unit here in Thailand. It's 4 cents, but often there's an add. What does 11 cents a unit mean? I mean, how much is the unit?
It's like a watt hour, like a watt hour, like the same way they measure it in the Philippines.
So, are you saying that the electricity in Thailand is expensive, like it is in the Philippines?
It's more expensive than it is. It's expensive, but I think that it's overall. It's about a wash, but I would say it's a little bit cheaper, in my opinion, than it is in the Philippines. That's just my opinion.
I mean, obviously, you've lived in both places, and you know that electricity here in the Philippines is not cheap.
No, it's stupid. Levent says, Jeremy, whereabouts you from stateside? That would be North Carolina. Captain Spalding, food is much better in Thailand. That's a given. I can kind of see that. Let's come back to the comments.
I can say that. Yeah.
Come back to the comments in just a second. Let me go on with this. With some more of this living stuff here from a man that sponsored this video. So the utilities came out to about 50 US dollars for a 45 square meter. So you can figure for the 85 square meter or 900 square foot, it's probably going to be about double that roughly. Internet, 8 megabits per second, 1 month is about $19, and there are all kinds of internet packages here, but this is in Hua Hin specifically. You can pick up a 40-inch flat screen TV for about $450.
That's kind of the same as U.S. price, isn't it?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. Roughly. Big microwave, 800, 900 watt, $77. Laundry detergent is going to be about $3.39. Hourly rate for cleaning help. This is something he was interested in, or my subscriber was interested in getting to know. Hourly rate for cleaning help is approximately $4.11. So that's not bad at
Let's
all.
talk about the stuff that's actually important, medical care.
You're gonna
Okay.
have you're gonna have
Do you know any of the specifics of medical care in Thailand, Jeremy?
okay.
I'm
So
not talking about what you've done personally or whatever. Just generally, let's say you go to the doctor because you feel bad. What does it cost you to walk in the door?
can't tell you I haven't been.
Because I know here in the Philippines, I mean, let's say you're walking in the door and you want to see the doc, and you say, "Doctor, I feel bad." It's like, "Give me 500 pesos," and that's fine. I'm not saying that
I
that's a
totally
bad
just
price at
lied.
all.
I
That's a
totally
great
just lied.
price.
I lied. I lied. What the hell am I talking about? I did a video on the med clinic, and what am I talking about? Oh my god! So to see the doctor there, I think that just the doctor fee was like 700 baht roughly.
I've been there. She deals with a lot of foreigners, so she's charging a little more because
Yeah,
she
yeah,
can,
yep. In fact, I believe they only deal with expats. To be honest with you.
and that's fine. I mean, still, I mean, she seems like a good doc, and you know,
She is a good duck, and the prices are a little more expensive there. When I get my medical, because I have a few minor conditions, as everyone knows, and I get all my meds there. I get them in 3 month supplies, and it costs me 12,000 baht to get 3 months supply of medication. And to put that in perspective for you, let me just do a little conversion here real quick. 12,000 baht is $370.
well, to put it in perspective, I mean, overall, is if you can afford a $5,000 a month budget for your living expenses,
Oh yeah,
you can afford to pay cash for your medical care.
I agree.
Even in the Philippines here, you can have insurance, all right? And you go to the hospital, you go see the doc, and they go, "Well, that's great. You have insurance. Here's your bill. Pay us now. You go deal with your insurance company."
That's true. I also want to mention there's a company called ACS, Alpha Charlie, whatever the hell S is, uh, here in Thailand, who apparently has excellent coverage for expats. I just found out about them today, but I will try to get you guys some more information on that um, at another time. So let me jump back into the comments here real quick. We got the Oz 1424 says, I think the woman there feel like they're trapped. That is why so many old guys going after the young. That is sick. I'm sorry to say. Well, he's talking
No,
about
wait. Where are we here? Let me go back up and see where that comment is because
the,
I feel a retort coming
yeah.
on.
I knew you were gonna have one. So go right.
Are we talking about the Oz 1424?
Yep.
Okay, I think the women there feel like they're trapped. That is why so many old guys going after the young. That is sick. I'm sorry to say. Okay. I'm sorry. We got to stop right here for a moment.
Yep. Give it to him, Steve.
Well, here's the deal. Oz 1424. You are right. Okay. Then there is a trade-off here in the Southeast Asian countries between money and relationship. No matter how you cut it, that trade-off is there. Do they love you? I don't know. Do they love your wallet? Of course they do. But is there any difference really between that and the Western world? Okay, do you think because in the Western world that you've gotten married to the woman of your dreams, who you are going to be sick of in 1 year, is there any difference between that and the Western world? You may think it's sick, but the other side of that is, and I say this all the time on my channel, have you seen what there is available on Plenty of Fish to a guy? I don't know what your age is. Maybe you're one guapo fellow that can get any hottie you want. But to think that it's sick, I don't know. What does that actually mean to you, Oz 1424? Why do you feel that it's sick if you're essentially trading what they need for what you need? Because that is what a relationship is about. So I will scroll to the bottom. I will scroll to the bottom and wait for your explanation about other than why you feel that there's some sort of societal thing that you have to live up to that you feel is sick. You may put that at the bottom and we will come back to that because, I obviously, listen, I am an old guy in the Philippines who does not want what is available to me in the US. Maybe you do.
Fair enough. Well said. So, moving right along, before we get back to more comments.
Hell of a segue there, Jeremy. Hell of a segue.
Hell of a segue.
Hell of a segue. But
hey,
I will wait for those comments back from Oz 1424 about why it is sick. I would like an explanation from Oz why it is sick. Maybe he's a missionary. Maybe he is an acolyte of some sort of deity that deems that everyone should be the same. I'm done.
Okay, so we're into transportation here. This is again in Hua Hin, which I think is going to be the subscriber that sponsored this video. I think this is going to be one of his best interests was going to be Hua Hin. For 1 liter of gas, which is 1/4 of a gallon, it is 90 cents. One ticket public transportation. Or excuse me, monthly ticket for public transportation around Hua Hin is $20.
Do you have a bot bus? I mean, I don't know about the bot bus other than the name bot bus. Is there a bot bus that goes through Hua Hin? Do you know?
I'm not. They have some type of public transportation in Hua Hin, but having not been there yet and having really not connected, I don't know. I know they have a group, and if you're really interested in Hua Hin, you should go to Hua Hin or Hua Hin, however you pronounce it. Foodies. They have a group called Hua Hin Foodies, and if you're interested in food, which seems to be a huge thing over there, you should go there and dig around for information because they'll give it to you. Let's get into personal care because here we go with the healthcare stuff, Steve. See if you beat me to it, man. Cold medicine for 6 days: Tylenol, Fredadol, Cold Rex, or equivalent brands, $4.43. 1 box of antibiotics, 12 doses, $3.87. Now, I'm sure that depends on what kind of antibiotics that you get. Short visit to private doctor, $25. That's a 15-minute visit. 1 box of 32 tampons. Oh, they didn't list the price for that. Wonder why. Roll-on deodorant, $2.19. Hair shampoo, about $1.86. 4 rolls of toilet paper, $1.30. Tube of toothpaste, $1.28. Standard men's haircut and expat area of the city, $8.
And stop using that roll-on deodorant because it's full of aluminum and you're going to get Alzheimer's, and just stop it.
Yeah, you went hardcore on that. Entertainment. Here we go. Basic dinner out for 2 in neighborhood pub, $16. 2 tickets to the movies, $10. 2 tickets to theater, best available seats, $49. Dinner for 2 at an Italian restaurant in the expat area, including appetizers, main course, wine, and dessert, $30. That's not bad.
Where'd you get all this information?
From an expat group. 1 cocktail drink in downtown club, $4.12. Cappuccino in expat area of the city, $2.33. 1 beer in neighborhood pub, 500 milliliters or 1 pint, $2.55.
That all sounds pretty expensive. What do you think?
I think it's a little expensive. And finally, let me round it off with this. 1 month gym membership in business district, $44. And 1 package of Marlboro cigarettes, $2.44.
That does not sound that cheap.
That does not sound cheap, but you got to remember, we're talking about a guy that's got a $5,000 a month budget. So that's why I think Hua Hin, because it is so much more upscale than some of these other places and has access to some of the best beaches in Thailand, would be an excellent choice for this gentleman. I really believe that. Let's see. Eli says, I pay about $25 per month for electricity in Vietnam. 3-story house, but I don't use AC, just fans. Okay, Eli, we're not friends anymore because you don't use AC. I love AC. I'm just kidding. I love Eli.
Yeah, but still, AC $25 a month. I mean, even if you're running at night. I know when I lived in Dumaguete, the first month I was there, I ran it 24/7. It cost like $80. Well, I wised up right after that, and I only ran it at night, and it dropped to like to $40 a month.
I just paid my rent today for last month, and the rent, which is 4,000 baht, and the electricity, everything came to 5,290 baht. So my utilities were 1,290 baht for the month. That's going to be, let me convert that real quick. 1,920. That's going to be $60.
Sorry, man. I'm busy doing other stuff here. I can't be paying total attention all the time.
Okay, we'll just try to focus. I know you're old and it's hard, but do your best. Okay.
Usual. See, that's okay. There's always the complaint. There's always the first complaint about me. You're old. All right, go on. I'm done.
Al says per year coverage for 64-year-old man is good physical condition policies for 2,000 to 3,000 per year. Are you talking about the Philippines or Thailand? I assume he's talking about Thailand. He says you can get a complete physical, including all blood, etc., at hospital for 1,000 US. That sounds expensive.
That sounds expensive. I think you can do a lot better than that.
I got a physical at the med clinic for a whole lot less than
that. Sounds like you're going to what is the name of the big hospital right there in Thailand? Broomgarden?
I know Bangkok hospitals is in I don't know, that's the international hospital. I'm not sure, Steve.
The big hospital, I think you can do a lot better than that I mean, I think medical care in Thailand is a tad cheaper than the Philippines.
I believe you could be correct. I also think you hit your mute button accidentally because you just went silent. So I'm going to keep talking. Al says this is a first-class exam geared for Farang. Okay. Okay, so that may be at some type of hospital or something. Steve, unmute your mic, dude. What happened to you? Like, you're still there, but you're not there. Let's see. Random agent says, says the 1324, tell your old lady you ain't never going to give her any more money and see how long she stays with you. Shut the front door. Did you hear that, Steve? Are you there? He'll come back to it. That's a good comment, though, Random agent. Richard says,
what I'm.
Oh, are you buffering? You sound like you're buffering.
Fading here in AC.
Come back to us, Steve. Come back to us.
Come back.
Oh, you are buffering so bad, man.
I got to back out and come back in.
There you are. Now I can hear you. Okay. So, did you get Random Asia's comment? Did you see what he said? Okay, I think he backed out. Richard says, love it, Steve. Pattaya ladies are in love with my wallet. This is why I keep a chain on my wallet attached to my shorts. I don't blame you, man. We got some laughing out louds here from Tony. Levette says, I travel for food and poutine. Real talk. I hear you, man. At least you're honest. Kent is referencing Oz. It says, probable married someone old enough to be his sister. That's sick. Sorry to say. And still has to pay 100% of the mortgage. I like that comment. Hey, Jeremy, Steve-O. Hello, Larry. Steve is having troubles right now, but I'm sure he will say hello when he comes back. You don't like to say where you're from. I told you I'm from North Carolina, America, North Carolina, Lament. Um, unless I missed something, or unless you're talking to Steve. Larry, how are those Jeremy C condoms selling? Well, I didn't put any of those on the market yet, but I can tell you that that market in Thailand is a little bit different from the U.S. You have to be really careful what brands you buy because they're not exactly top notch, if you know what I'm saying. Kent Thomas, I can live with $80 a month for 24/7 AC. May as well be comfortable. I'm with you, Kent. I'm 110,000% with you, man, because I can totally live with paying a little extra money to have 24/7 air conditioning. I don't like to sweat. It's just not my thing, although I do a lot. Larry, Steve went for a short time. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. He's like, let me go over to my Hangouts and see if he's still there. Nah, he's not there. I think he's going out, going to try to come back in. Not sure. Maybe we'll get him back. Bleed a lot. There's a VA hospital in Manila that I hear is good. Yes, there are. I have also heard that there are great VA hospitals in the Philippine area that are wonderful. Levent, I'm behind on comments. I apologize, buddy. I see your comment that says serious with a question mark. I'm not sure. Al says, oh, well, 9 a.m. here. Got to get my ass moving. Well, good to see you, Al. Thanks for dropping in. We definitely appreciate it. Ed, he's auditioning for the voice of Optimus Prime for the next Transformer movie. He does kind of give off that feel a little bit, and I will say that he does have the Optimus Prime thing going on, and I'm sure as well. If you guys don't know, Steve is a former radio guy, a actual disc jockey, so he can probably pull off the Optimus Prime thing if he really wanted to. Let's see what else we got going on. Sum it up. With take Thailand any day over the Philippines. Have to say I agree with you, but still no disrespect to the Philippines because there are certain parts of that country and people in it that I love. North Carolina, come on and raise up, take your shirt. Oh Lord, we are not singing Petey Pablo on this channel. VA Manila Regional Benefit Office, Pasay opens at 7:30. Okay, there's some information if any of you guys are veterans. Levent says, oh, you're talking Philippines. For some reason, I was thinking Italy. That's Milan. Yes, that would be Milan. Steve, you ever check your Line app? That's a good question. He's online, but I don't know if he ever checks that or not. And since he's not in the chat, I don't know what happened. See you, Al. Take care, buddy. Larry's talking about a hospital in Germany. Bleed a Lot says, is it possible to hire a driver with a van to tour you around road trips? Absolutely. And that brings me to another point that the subscriber who sponsored this video asked about. The transportation costs were included in that in Hua Hin. I would like to move on now to Koh Samui because this is an island. It's not going to be city life as was requested, but I would like to give you some prices around it because if you really want a special kind of lifestyle, this is probably interesting information for you. It says restaurants meal in an inexpensive restaurant, about $3.09. This is all USD. Meal for two people, mid-range restaurant, 3-course, $18.56. Meal at McDonald's or equivalent combo meal, $6.19. Domestic beer, half liter, $2.47. Imported beer, 0.33 liter, $3.09. Cappuccino, $2.28. Coke, Pepsi, 57 cents. Water, 37 cents. Markets. Milk is going to run about $1.97. Bread about $1.30. Rice $1.16 per kilo. 12 eggs $2.06. Local cheese $6.19. And the rest of these prices are fairly on point with what I mentioned about Hua Hin. Bottles of wine here are going to be mid-range wine, $18.56. Then they go on with the domestic and imported beers at $1.42 and $1.93 respectively. Transportation, one-way ticket, local transport, $2.47. Taxi start, normal tariff is $6.19. Taxi 1 kilometer, normal tariff, 85 cents. Taxi 1 hour waiting, normal tariff, $24.75. A liter of gasoline is going to cost you about 98 cents. And let me see what else we got here. Utilities. This is again on Koh Samui. Basic electricity, heating, water, etc. for an 85 square meter apartment, $55.79, which is about what I pay here. Which is that means Koh Samui would actually be cheaper because 85 square meters is far larger than what I'm living in. Internet, 60 megabits or more unlimited data cable through ADSL, $23.09. Really cheap internet, guys. Really cheap internet. And Koh Samui. Fitness club monthly fee for one adult, $56.71. Cinema international release, one seat, $7.27. So I hope that has really helped answer some of the questions. You could also live in Bangkok for $5,000 a month in a high rise and a house and just about anywhere you wanted to. The problem there would be beach access. Again, Jom Tien and Cozy Beach around the area of Pattaya, which is on the other side of the Gulf of Thailand from Hua Hin, is also a highly recommended area. Nice beaches. Very easy standard of living. Transportation is not a problem. Grab cars are available. Motorbike taxis are available. I think any of those cities that I've mentioned would be good options for you, sir, when you listen to this. Let's see what we got here in the comment section going. I don't know what happened to Mr. Steve, but hopefully he'll come back. Let's see, random agents. To my understanding, electricity is for 4 cents kilowatt hour in Thailand, but many landlords put on their own surcharges. I think Jeremy has a government rate. Yeah, I think I'm going off the government rate too. The government rate was also at my original apartment as well. Random agent. Larry says I had to stop in there last time I was in KS. They took care of me, no problem. I think you guys were talking about the VA stuff, right? I believe so. Koh Samui, cheap internet, but not good internet. Okay. That's interesting to know. Random Agent says, hey, Jeremy, are you buying the 5 gallons of filtered water? How much? I am not buying the 5 gallons of filtered water. I buy bottled water by the bulk, Random Agent. So that's kind of how I'm doing that. Kent Thomas says, from what I've seen, unless you are going to rough it, the Philippines cost as much, if not more, than the USA to live. In many aspects, Ken, I would say I agree with you. I wish Steve was still here so he could expand on that a little bit. I can tell you that the first 3 months I lived there, it cost me as much to live there as it did in the United States. But I was living a Western lifestyle. So Eli says Steve is asleep on his keyboard. You know, that is a possibility. He could have just straight up passed out. I mean, it's all good. Levette, got to go. Take care, my friend. Thank you for stopping in. Definitely appreciate it. Larry says Steve can't be on ST. He wouldn't last that long. That's funny. So what I want to know from you guys in the chat, do you have any suggestions on cities? Those of you that are familiar with Thailand, do you have any suggestions on the cities in which this gentleman could live in for $5,000 a month that would be beneficial to him? Maybe places that I haven't mentioned, things that I have neglected to mention. How is the banking? My banking is through my job, so it was very easy to set up. It depends on what type of visa you have, really. Banking can be a problem, but it is always best to get a Thai to go with you to set up a banking account. Random Asia says, I saw a guy do a test on bottled water in China. It's a real surprise. A lot of pesticides. Love to see somebody test water in Thailand. If I could find somebody to do it, I would definitely do it. Larry, what are you talking about in Rayong? I have heard of that city. Atawata. Atawata. I don't know what that means. Um, yeah, guys. So, you're talking about maybe potentially another city around. Yeah, I'm planning on doing a little visiting down around that area at some point. I've heard a few things about it. Yeah, you're talking about where to live. Gotcha, bro. I've been through there, through Rayong. I saw that it was a fairly large city, but that's also an option. It's definitely close to the beach. I know that. I am not sure about how to pronounce that city that starts with an A, but if somebody wants to look it up, that will be great, especially the guy that wanted to see this video. That would be awesome. I think Rayong, if I'm not mistaken, is a used to be a fishing village. If memory serves me correct, and now they have a bunch of factories. I think. Ayutthaya. You guys are feeding me all kinds of information that I've never heard of before. This is very interesting. Tony Rain, may I ask, have you had a chance to visit Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and Costa Rica? What would be your top 3 countries for single men who love beautiful women? I'm 38 years old. Well, I'm 37, Tony. And I have to tell you, I've not visited Brazil. I would love to go. Not visited Costa Rica. Would love to go. I've been to Peru. Very beautiful women in Peru, believe it or not. I have, Colombia has some of the best looking women I've ever seen on YouTube. I have never been there personally. I have Colombian friends that are out of this world, just exquisitely beautiful. Southeast Asia has plenty of beautiful women. Take your pick. Really, Tony. There's plenty of beautiful women in Southeast Asia. Ed says Chiang Mai. Haven't been there, but hear many expats and Western amenities. I agree. Definitely making a trip to Chiang Mai to check some of those things out as well. But he wants a beach area, and I don't believe Chiang Mai is going to have a beach area there. Larry says Rayong is going to be a great place once Utapa Airport becomes international. That's true. I'm familiar with the airport. That's like south of Pattaya. Yeah, once it becomes international, you're right. That will probably flood in a lot of that part of that area of Thailand for sure. Also, this city is the old capital of Thailand. Interesting. Chiang Mai, too many backpackers and hippies. Well, that may be true. Excellent. Thank you. You're welcome, Tony. Very, very welcome. Guys, I am glad that you all came out tonight. To the subscriber that sponsored this video, I want to say thank you very, very much. I've already had another video sponsored that's going to be shot mid-October. That was a special request, and I thank my man for that very, very much. If you're interested in doing any of that stuff, it's in the description below, or you may contact me via Facebook Messenger, and I will work on your content. And hopefully I will provide you with the best information that I can possibly give you. Ralph says Venezuela has the most Miss Universe winners and their economy is bad now. Good deals to be found. I like your sense of humor, Ralph. I like it. I like it a lot. But with that being said, Halloween action in Pattaya. I'm not sure I'll be there at the end of October. I'm definitely going to be there in mid-October, but we'll see what happens. I've heard some crazy things about Pattaya. Going to be spending some time there and some live streams from there. Steve and I will be there together, and we will see you guys there for sure. Fun to see the girls all dressed up. I bet so. Hopefully, I just don't get confused with any LBs. Definitely don't want that to happen. So with that being said, I believe my guest is not coming back. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down and try to get some rest tonight. I appreciate you guys very, very much for coming out, tuning in, sticking with me. Anyone who has watched this or listened to this podcast who has any questions, please comment below. If I don't have the answer, I will do my best to find them for you. to the anonymous subscriber who sponsored this video. I certainly hope this has helped answer your questions. If not, please feel free to message me via Facebook Messenger, and I will continue to pour on the content or research the information as you need. No doubt about it. Larry says in the near future, Chonburi is going to be a hot province. Big development plans for that part. I agree with that. I'd like to have my old friend Steve O'Neill on here to talk about Chonburi, as that's currently his hometown. Roll Tide, I take it Alabama won. Lingo, take care, my friend. Larry, keep your powder dry, Pilgrim. You crack me up, man. Good to see everybody tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. And I will see you guys on the next video / live stream. Everyone take care. Have a wonderful night. If there's anything you guys need, please hit me up in the comment section, Facebook Messenger, whatever you need to do. Talk to you later.